gaming. Isn't it great? Wait, now I want to make one. I've been wanting to make a game for over 3 years now, and I finally decided to actually start. Now, don't be fooled, but I do have a little experience in game dev. I did kind of work on a little game called Mario, and I have also ripped off the Google Dinosaur game. Since Godot 4 finally got released, I decided this is the perfect time for me to actually start making the game. So, I got Godot 4 downloaded, installed Asprite so I can make art for the game, and I've got my perfectly built and cable managed PC already. For the entire development of my game, I'm going to be using GitHub so that I have version control. I will also be using Trello so I can plan and track what I need to do and what I've already done. Although I'm incredibly skilled at hyper-realistic drawings, as you can see, I've actually chosen to do pixel art for my game. Because, I don't know. Lol. So the basic idea for my game is that there's this little guy and he's really little. The size of an ant. Then one day, his little father goes searching for food, but never comes back. So it's up to the kid to befriend all the critters to help find his father. The premise for my game is inspired by the game Webbed, because I like how that looks, and I also like the swinging spiders. It's kinda cool. I also really enjoy Unravel 2's grappling mechanics. They use them to make really engaging puzzles and cool level designs. And also this one other indie, small little platforming game about bugs called Hollow Knight? I finally decided to make a start on the game, so I opened up Godot 4 and I tried making a character first of all. This will be my first time ever using Godot 4, so a lot of things are still quite new to me, such as the small change from kinematic body 2D to character body 2D. I'm very ashamed of how long this took me to find. And of course we have to give our little guy a sprite, so I opened up Asprite and made this, a spider, I think. For most of the art in the game, I'm going to be using colour palettes created by Indeska. They're all just really good, and I'll link them in the description if any of you want to try them out. So then I imported that thing, and I could not figure out how to make it not blurry. It took me about 10 minutes to figure out how to import it as pixel art, because they changed it from Godot 3 to Godot 4, but I figured out in the end. And now we have a beautiful little spider guy in our game. I attached a script to the character body 2D node, and it actually already came with simple code for a 2D platforming character, so I kept this code just for the beginning of my development. I also did try making my own code, but it just didn't work. We'll ignore that. I added a little platform for him to run about on, which didn't work. But I fixed it quite quickly, and we got a platform for our little spider guy to run around, and I also added a little 2D camera so that we could see him a bit more clearly. Look at him go. Oh! While trying to make it so his sprite flipped whenever you change direction you walk, I accidentally made him moonwalk. I quickly got it fixed, and now we have a nice working character. As nice as that attempt of a spider is, I did decide to change it. So I opened Asprite, and I made this new character sprite that has animations. I imported them quite easily into Godot with the animation player node, and now we've got an even cuter little guy, who I am actually quite proud of. I've never animated a pixel art before, so this is quite new for me. And now the part I was most excited for, using Godot 4's new tileset features. I only ever really used tilesets once in Godot 3 before, and it took me about an hour to set up, so I was really excited to try the new one. I spent a few minutes reading the documentation, and I also watched one video to help me learn how to use it, and then I just got started, and I got it working flawlessly. Look at that, wow. Woo! Yeah. Godot 3's old tileset system really confused me and also took me really long to set up, and this one was just a lot easier, and it also felt a lot more reliable to use. It just feels like you have a lot more control over what you're placing. Overall, it was just much easier to use. Halfway through the creation of my tileset, I remembered that I didn't even add a jump to my character, so I ran back and added that. I did also add an animation to the jump and fall. I chose to make a quick background in Asprite so that I wasn't stuck with a boring grey one, but this did actually give me quite a bit of difficulty because the background just didn't load properly, but I eventually found a fix for this. This was also my first time ever using separate layers in parallax backgrounds, and I'm really happy with how the effect looks. For a really quick background I made, I'm really happy with how it looks. And this is what everything together looks like. This silly little goofball frog was the hardest thing to add to my game. I really wanted to get him in before I finished this devlog, so I tried really hard. And all I wanted him to do was just talk to the player when they walk near him. And it was so difficult. I don't know why. Somehow, when doing this, I wiped my whole file of my game and it all just corrupted. I'm like 100% sure it is my fault completely, but I just don't know what happened. But thank God I was using GitHub and doing commits quite often. Otherwise I would have lost a lot of progress, so luckily I was doing that. All I lost was a few of my background layers. After many tears and much time spent trying to figure out how to do this frog, I got an area 2D to work and recognize when the player enters it, and once that happens then it just displays a sprite and text for whatever the frog is going to say. I hate this frog. I don't want to see him again, but I'm glad it works now. Here's what the loser looks like in my game finished with the text box. I hate him. I hate his family. I hate everything about him. I never want to see him again. So that's pretty much all I added to my game for this first devlog. I did also add this one song that I made. I think I got very bored. It's okay, but I definitely want to work on other songs because I love making music. Anyways, that's all there's going to be for the programming side of things in this devlog. I just want to spend some time now talking about why I'm actually making a devlog. So the first reason is because I'm hoping that this will motivate me through actually finishing a game, because I've always started many but never followed through with it and actually finished one. So I'm really hoping that this will motivate me to keep going. Another reason is just I really enjoy making videos and I love editing. It's just one of my favorite things to do, so I may as well just make devlogs while I'm also making a game. Also, there's a good chance that I won't actually keep working on this game constantly. I might take breaks and make other games so I can improve in other areas of Godot. And then once I've learned these skills, I can come back to this game and I can keep adding to it until it's exactly how I want it to be. So that is actually the end of this first devlog. I don't have a clue what I'm doing really, but I enjoyed making this video and I'm gonna keep going. And on that note, play Outer Wilds. Bye.